What if I told you that your brain may start sending out warning signs of dementia decades before you notice any memory problems? Most people think forgetting where they put their keys is the first red flag. But the truth? It's much more subtle, and far more serious. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden early signs of dementia, signs that most doctors rarely talk about. These clues could help you, or someone you love, take action years before it's too late. Because when it comes to dementia, time isn't just important. It's everything. Dementia affects over 55 million people around the world. And for adults over 45, it's one of the leading causes of disability. But here's something many people don't know. This disease doesn't just show up one day when you forget someone's name. The damage often begins silently, sometimes 20 years before any obvious symptoms appear. And one of the first signs? It's not memory loss. It's the way you move. 1. Your posture and how you walk. When people think of dementia, they think of forgetfulness. But your body may actually be the first to tell the story. If you've started taking shorter steps, if you're dragging your feet a little more than usual, if you're stumbling in familiar spaces, these might be more than just signs of aging. Your brain plays a major role in coordination and balance. So when cognitive functions begin to decline, movement can be affected too. Have you noticed a slouched posture? Leaning slightly to one side without realizing it? Struggling to hold a coffee cup or use utensils the way you used to? These subtle changes may not seem like a big deal. But over time, they can become more pronounced. And they may signal that something deeper is going on in the brain. Before we move on, take a quick moment to support this channel if you find this helpful. White heavy checkmark subscribe. White heavy checkmark give this video a like. White heavy checkmark comment below if anything we've shared resonates with you. White heavy checkmark and don't forget to share this video with friends or family. It could truly make a difference. We've got more important signs coming up that could help you catch dementia early, so stick with me until the end. 2. Your senses may be telling you something. The next warning sign is one most people overlook: your senses. Dementia doesn't just affect memory, it can mess with how your brain interprets sights, sounds, smells, and touch. Have you started misjudging how far to pour your coffee? Or had trouble walking down stairs that used to feel easy? These are problems with depth perception, and they can be early signs of cognitive change. Some people bump into furniture more often. Others feel disoriented in crowded places, even ones they've been in for years. Smell and taste can also be early victims. If your food seems blander than usual, if you're not noticing the smell of cooking, or worse, can't smell things like a gas leak, that could be your brain's sensory system struggling. Even hearing loss, especially if you're finding it hard to pick out voices in noisy rooms, can be a red flag. In fact, untreated hearing loss in midlife has been linked to higher dementia risk later on. Because when your brain has to work harder to make sense of sound, it steals resources from other areas, like memory. 3. Your grip strength might hold a clue. Here's one that might surprise you. The strength of your grip, yes, your hand grip, can actually predict dementia risk. If you've noticed trouble opening jars, holding on to shopping bags, or keeping a strong grip, pay attention. This could be a sign that your brain and muscles aren't communicating as well as they used to. Research shows that lower grip strength in older adults is tied to a higher chance of cognitive decline. Why? Because physical strength, especially in your arms and legs, is deeply connected to brain function. Less movement equals less blood flow to the brain equals faster decline. But the good news? The relationship goes both ways. When you build physical strength, you also support your brain. For sleep problems that could signal trouble. Many older adults struggle with sleep, but certain kinds of sleep issues may be more serious than others. For example, if you've never been a napper but suddenly find yourself needing long naps every afternoon. Or if you're waking up multiple times a night, tossing and turning, or rising too early without feeling rested. These may be warning signs of early cognitive changes. Some people experience REM sleep behavior disorder, which can involve kicking, punching, or shouting during dreams. This has been linked to certain forms of dementia, like Lewy body dementia. Vivid nightmares, frequent night terrors, or even feeling mentally foggy after a full night's rest can also be indicators. Sleep is essential for the brain to remove waste, literally clearing out toxins. So disrupted sleep can accelerate brain inflammation and cognitive decline. Don't ignore it. 5. Apathy, when emotions go quiet. One of the earliest, and most misunderstood, emotional signs of dementia is apathy. This isn't just feeling down once in a while. This is a slow, persistent loss of interest in life. Someone who used to love gardening suddenly lets the plants die. Someone who used to light up in conversations now stares blankly or avoids them altogether. Unlike depression, apathy doesn't always come with sadness or hopelessness. It's more of a quiet fading of motivation. This happens because dementia affects the parts of the brain that control emotion and social behavior. So if you or someone you know is starting to withdraw, skip social events, show little emotion, or seem indifferent to both joy and sadness, pay attention. 6. Language struggles that go beyond senior moments. We've all had moments where we forget a word. But with dementia, language problems show up differently, and earlier, than many expect. This could look like repeatedly saying the wrong word, like shirt instead of jacket. Taking long pauses to find the right word. Repeating the same phrase over and over. Struggling to remember familiar names, even close family members. These are not just slips of the tongue. They may be signs of aphasia, a condition that affects the brain's ability to process language. And this can start years before other symptoms appear. What all of this means. If you or someone you love is showing more than one of these early signs, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. There are other conditions that can look like dementia. Vitamin B12 deficiency, thyroid issues, even chronic stress. That's why a proper medical evaluation is so important. The sooner you act, the better your chances of slowing or even preventing further decline. What you can do. Now here's the hopeful part. There's still so much you can do to protect your brain health. Start with these simple but powerful changes. Keep your brain active. Learn a new language. Play chess. Try painting. Running, move your body. Walking, strength training, dancing, anything that gets your blood flowing. Grapes, eat for your brain. Follow the Mediterranean or Mind diet. Focus on lean protein, healthy fats, and antioxidant-rich fruits and veggies. ZZZ, prioritize sleep. Deep, restful sleep helps clear toxins from your brain. Red Heart, manage your health. Keep your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar under control. Dementia is a complex condition, but early awareness makes a world of difference. The sooner we recognize the signs, the better our chances of protecting what matters most, our memories, our relationships, and our independence. So pay attention. Stay curious. And take action, not fear. If this video helped you, or you believe it could help someone you care about, please white heavy checkmark like. White heavy checkmark share. White heavy checkmark comment below. White heavy checkmark, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on healthy aging and brain wellness. You're not alone, and the more we know, the better we grow. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strong, and stay hopeful.